Birds and water make a great combination, and where you find water, you very often find birds also. Certain conditions can offer you a great opportunity to get two identically reflected images, so 2 for 1 has got to be a bonus. The ultimate goal in taking reflective images of birds is to get a pristine reflection, but reflections that are sometimes a little bit wavy or slightly blurred can also improve your composition, and you don't need to crop too much when you're taking reflective images. Reflections offer you another dimension to your wildlife photography. Water can also add drama to an image by injecting action and movement in sometimes quite striking ways to show power, as you can see in this image of two coots fighting. At the other extreme, water can also show calmness and tranquility on calm days when the water surface is reflective, and again you can see that in this image of another coot moving through the water. So what I want to do in this video is share with you my approach to photographing birds as reflective images. It's not about how to build a reflection pool. There's lots of videos out there on YouTube on that subject, so I'm not covering that subject in this video, but some of the shots that I will show you were taken at reflective pools. So what we'll do is we'll look at the conditions that are required to take reflective images. We'll look at the photographic approach to photographing reflective images, looking at things like the composition and settings, and I'll give you some top tips along the way. Okay, top tip, planning. If you're going to go out and deliberately look for reflective images, you have to plan in advance for a still day, especially here in the UK where the weather can be very unpredictable. I think we've had one of our wettest winters of all time that have been recorded this year. So things that you're looking for is things like low wind speeds and preferably a bright overcast day, which offers the best opportunity to get those reflective images. So when we're looking at the conditions that we want, as I've said, planning in advance, looking for that ideally windless, bright overcast day. Where are we going to find those conditions? Well, any body of water can create reflections. That's from lakes, canals, ponds, rivers, reflection pools, and even puddles. Wildlife themselves generally, and especially birds, aren't too keen on windy days, and they prefer to keep close to cover, out of the way. You can also achieve good images on days where there's a excuse me, a slight ripple in the water, or when birds are moving through calm water, especially like ducks and swans. Reflections are great images if you get it right. However, there are some pitfalls you need to avoid and some useful tips you need to consider to get that image that reflects, see what I did there, your efforts. Top tip, time of the day. Timing is key, because if you shoot at dawn or dusk, you can produce vibrant colours and good light. That can capture all the details in the bird's feathers. So both the golden hour and the blue hour offer great conditions for taking reflection images. So what kit are you going to need, or are there any specialist kit that you need to take reflective images? Well, you definitely need a stable platform for your camera. That is absolutely essential when you're taking bird reflection images. So when it comes to kit and you're looking at camera support, you're looking at something like a bean bag, or a tripod, or the new ground pods that are available. When you're talking about lenses, you're looking to have a zoom lens. Again, it depends how far away you are from your actual subject. So a zoom lens between 100 up to about 500mm is absolutely ideal. Although we want to try and avoid really bright days, you might need a polarizer, but preferably you're looking for a bright overcast day where you wouldn't need one. The zoom lenses themselves are very useful to isolate the bird within the frame when you're composing your shot. I'll talk a little bit composition in a minute or two. Okay, I just want to take a little time out to give you a look forward to a video I've wanted to do for a long time, and that's on birds in flight. Now, there's lots of videos out there on YouTube on birds in flight, so how's mine going to be different? Well, my approach is simplified in 5 easy steps. I'm confident that approach, and by following the 5 steps to success, it will bring you success in getting the bird images you want of birds in flight. And now, back to the video. Camera settings. Sharpness is critical if you're after that eye-catching reflection image. Therefore, you need to have a high shutter speed to begin with. So my go-to settings for reflection shots to begin with would start at around 1/1000th of a second, f8, and I always shoot in auto ISO. Apertures from about f7.1 up to f11 need to be considered, as your depth of field has to include both the bird itself and the reflection, and that's a critical point, is your aperture. You need quite a, between, I would suggest, f5.6 up to about f11, optimum being about f8. Okay, top tip, you need to get down low when you're taking reflective images. That's either sitting down, kneeling, or lying low to the ground, and that helps reduce the angle between the camera and the reflection itself, and it should ensure that the reflection appears larger and clearer. So top tip, you need to get down low. In any other wildlife image that you take, the background is always important, and it can be as important as the image itself. So you have to pay attention to both the background and the foreground. They are as important as the bird and the reflection itself. So ideally, you're looking for an uncluttered area which will help the reflection stand out, or you can use the foreground and the background to actually frame your subject as well. Composition in reflections. Landscape or portrait. Symmetry is very important in bird reflections, and it's probably the best technique or way to go about composing bird reflection images. This is where you're going to balance the reflection with your subject, and you need to think to switch between landscape and portrait to see which is best. In landscape photography, you wouldn't put a horizon in the middle of the photograph due to the rule of thirds. However, in bird reflection, this is probably the best option for your composition. If the water is completely calm, you won't see a horizon except where the bird touches the water. So symmetry, think about landscape and portrait also. Top tip, puddles. During dry periods, birds will quickly find any surface water, and that can offer you, the photographer, great opportunities to photograph birds under real conditions. It's both a challenge, and if you get it right, it's very rewarding. Natural puddles are magnets to birds and wildlife during dry periods. Their survival needs means that they have to drink, so they're going to drink from puddles during dry periods. And that, when they go to drink, often lowers their alertness, and you can get quite close to them. A few years back, I live quite near Sherwood Forest, the home of Robin Hood, and we get crossbills arrive in numbers every year. Now, the crossbills arrived in numbers. They were staying high up in the trees, waiting to go to drink, and the only places they could find to drink were actually in puddles on the ground. So what they do, high up in the tree, and then they would drop down to drink and also bathe at the same time. And they would often do that in numbers. Thing is, with the puddles, small puddles are often very sheltered, and it can offer calm conditions and great opportunities for getting reflective images of birds. Okay, what I want to do now is just leave you with some of my favourite images of birds in reflective poses, and I hope you enjoy them. Okay, thanks for watching this edition of Kevin Hatley Photography and my approach to taking reflective images of birds. All I would ask is that if you've liked it, could you hit the like button? Could I also ask you to subscribe to my channel, Kevin Hatley Photography? It's completely free, doesn't cost anything. What it does, it just helps me to grow the channel and share my knowledge and my experience of photography with other like-minded people around the world. So, until the next time, stay safe, take care, and I hope to see you soon. Bye for now.